and welcome to all things lush, lavish and luxurious. This is Trendz Travel. Now today we find ourselves in the heart of Sandton in a little place called Birdview. Guys, this beautiful place is someone's private estate. But before we take you there, why don't I take you to a place where two of South Africa's favorite meat, that is biltong and pinotage.
South Africa is known for producing the finest wines in the world. The process of winemaking dates back to 1659. Pinotage is a grape variety that was created in South Africa in 1925, a rich red wine that can be paired with cheeses and something meaty and hearty. Today, though, we met two proudly South African favorites, biltong and wine.
Pinotage was created in 1925 in Stellenbosch, and it has grown and grown and grown, and now it's so diversified. We have white Pinotage, we have red Pinotage, we have sweet Pinotage, we have the sparkling Pinotage, and then on the biltong side there's so many different biltongs that we have, so we decided to pair the wine with the biltong so people can get the full experience of both products.
How did you pick the people with the stalls?
Well, there are so many wineries that make Pinotage, but we try to get white Pinotage in, try to get some sweet Pinotage, some reds. Most people know the red Pinotages, but we even have a port here. It's a port style wine. It's called Pinorto from Kulenhof. That wine is made in South Africa in the style that the Portuguese make it, but only with the Pinotage grape. So we decided to use different Pinotages for the festival, and that is why we selected specific winery.
How do you know which biltong to pair with what?
We have a session with a few experts about 3 months before the time, where we get the 18 wines and the 9 biltong types. Then we sit and we decide which wines pair the best with which biltongs. For instance, if you have a chili biltong, you can only pair that with a sweeter wine. And if you have, for instance, a lemon pepper biltong, that goes perfectly with the Melasat white Pinotage. So that is how we pair it. We pair it according to the taste in the biltong and in the wine.
Winemakers who get it right soon come to be familiar with the grape's versatility and are able to create different types of wines, from the light drinking type to the more serious barrel-aged Pinotage. Some have even started innovating, creating new type Pinotage wines, red, white and sparkling.
So explain to me, what is a white Pinotage?
Well, white Pinotage is a white wine that we make from 100% red grapes. And we do it by separating the juice from the skins immediately. But we do a whole bunch press in batches because we don't want any color of the wine. And then the wine is fermented in barrel, and we keep it in barrel for 11 months. And there's about 13% new wood on this vintage that we have here, which is the 2017.
So are you saying that what makes the color red is the skin of the grape?
Yes, that's right. Now, some varieties you get a red skin as well, but there's only a handful of grapes. But Pinotage, the flesh is green and then the skin is red. So you can see from the color that it's really a white wine. There's not a hint of color, and it's all natural. We harvest in batches at different ripeness levels, very small batches, to prevent color. And totally natural, very fruity. It's got the underlying tropical fruit notes of Pinotage. Sometimes people say you get banana, so you'll get banana on this one, maybe a little bit of pineapple. It's a very fresh, crisp wine, easy drinking, but the nice thing about this wine, it ages like a red wine.
That's very interesting.
So the other question that we always get is, why do we make a white Pinotage? Now, we've been doing it since 2007. We were the first winery in the world to do this. And it started off as an experiment because some Pinotages in those days had rubbery acetone flavors. Those flavors comes from the skins. So the owner of the farm just decided to separate the juice from the skins, and we eliminated those flavors.
All right, so let me taste. Okay, so we all know when we say Pinotage, immediately you think red wine. This one is white, so yeah, here goes. very, very nice.
Thank you very much.
Oh, wow.
And you should try it with a biltong, yeah? The pairing is a lemon pepper biltong. And it's absolutely beautiful with the lemon flavors.
Okay, so but why the lemon flavor?
Well, the lemon flavors works with the freshness of the acidity and then also the fruitiness of it. On a red wine, if you do a little bit of lemon, it may bring out the acidity on a red wine, which you don't want.
All right. So today is all about new experiences for me. I've tasted a red pinotage, a white pinotage, and now I'm about to taste a sparkling pinotage, believe it or not. So I'm about to speak to Dean, and Dean is going to tell me. Hi, Dean.
Hello, hello.
How are you?
Very good, thanks, and you?
Fine, thank you.
Good, good.
So this is a sparkling pinotage.
That's good, eh? This is a sparkling pinotage with some red muscadel. It's a bit sweeter than your normal pinotage, and it's got a bubbly inside. The bubbly gives it a dry finish, so it takes away that sweetness at the end of the sip that you'll take. This is not like a red wine that you have to look at the color. You'll see it's got a bit of a salmon color, so it's not as.
So nice.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah. Now look, this is definitely our most popular wine that we've got. Everyone that comes here just wants to buy this wine.
So how old is the wine and where is it made?
This wine is not in your typical wine region. It's in just outside of Mossel Bay in Herbertsdale. So anyone that goes to the garden route has to go to the farm. They've got a beautiful restaurant there. They make the best pizzas. They've got a black hamburger where they put coloring in the burger, and it's a black burger, so it's something different. It's a beautiful setting. You look over the vineyards, and it's just something that you have to do when you're in the garden route.
Okay, so what am I pairing it with?
You're pairing it with a chili bite. So when we got together, we were tasting all the wines, and the sweetness of the pinotage red muscadel rosé just complements the spiciness of the chili bite that you get with a chili bite.
So how are you finding the festival?
The festival is actually, for me, it's quite a new experience because normally you pair it with substantial food. So pinotage and biltong to me it's a very new experience, and I've actually come across a few variants of pinotage that I'd never been aware of before, like the white ones. So it's a very good experience.
And for you?
No, it's been a lovely experience. That's all.
So, what did you expect when you came here?
I definitely didn't expect the white pinotage. I've never heard of it, so it was my first time. So I'm actually quite glad that I came here.
Now guys, if you think that your estate or your humble abode is cribs-worthy, then why don't you send us pictures on Instagram and on Twitter on Trendz on SABC using the hashtag SABC News.
If you ask this Irish master whiskey distiller why sometimes whiskey is spelled with an E and sometimes without, he'd say,
You're so good, look. It's the whole thing. They're back and to get off in the whiskey without the E.
Yeah, didn't catch that. But if you asked us the difference, we'd tell you that every whiskey from around the world is spelled without the E, except for Irish and American whiskies.
Get a bottle of Chivas Regal 12-year-old blended Scotch whiskey plus 2 glasses for only $289.99 from Tops at Spar.
Need to know more about the markets? This is where it all starts. At the SABC's headquarters in Auckland Park in Johannesburg, South Africa. We analyze, report, crunch the numbers, call in the experts, package the news, and bring you critical global market updates from the JSE.
The continent's leaders in liquid market movement and the fastest growing secondary listings made right here.
Small businesses, the backbone of the economy. With South Africa's very high unemployment rate, it said that 90% of new jobs could come from this sector.
Every weekday afternoon on DSTV channel 404.
We are tired and we want people to take action. We want government to take action because women are being raped, women are being killed, women are being sexually and physically abused every day. Children are going missing.
see men at the forefront of this march is what softens the heart and makes us all feel proud of the type of men that we have in our country.
Here, the rates of violence against women and children are alarmingly high. Enough is enough.
Welcome back to Trendz Travel. Now recently I had the privilege of exploring the Kruger right on the border of Maputo at Shishangeni by Bon Hotels. It was an amazing experience. So why don't you join me and have a look. Welcome to Shishangeni by Bon Hotels. After a tiring nearly 6-hour drive from Johannesburg, we are taken to our beautiful rooms which are interlocked by stilted walkways. Inside, one is greeted to a king-sized bed, complete with net curtaining to keep creepy crawlies at bay as you sleep. The decor is proudly African, with wooden carvings of impala on the walls and a friendly giraffe guarding over the lamps. Opening up the door that leads to the terrace, you are met with an up-close experience of being in the bush. Everything is charmingly rustic and African. But before we get too comfortable, it's time for welcome drinks and lunch by the pool. Lunch is a spread fit for a king, with seafood starters, salmon and curried prawns, the most tender lamb curry as a main, and a medley of fruits, pastries and decadent cheesecake and panna cotta for dessert. Tummies full and happy faces, it's time for a sunset safari. Our first encounter is quite fitting to lead us through the bush. It's Zazu, and for those who haven't watched Lion King, this is a yellow-billed hornbill doing its thing. Of course, no safari adventure would be complete without seeing what is affectionately known as the McDonald's of the bush. This is because impala are so plentiful and there's one around every corner, prancing, grazing, walking, obviously unthreatened by our subtle invasion. Next, we encounter our first member of the Big Five, the buffalo. This guy may not look like much, but the price for a buffalo could range between 4 to 18 million rand. Yes, million. These unassuming animals are actually one of the most dangerous of the Big Five. This is because they have no mark charge like most animals do. A warning of sorts. If this guy comes for you, he's not playing and there's no way to outrun him, so it's best to steer clear. This safari just gets better and better as we encounter a second member of the Big Five, the one all foreigners wish to get a glimpse of. Simba. This young lion is only 2 years old and has been exited from his pride by the more mature males. He doesn't seem too phased as he has a female not too far away. His mane is just a tuft of hair at the moment, but he will grow into it just as he begins to conquer the wild and take his place as king of the beasts. If that wasn't epic enough, we are called away to another pride of more mature lions, a pack of males. These kings are comfortable to ignore us and go about their business, and even getting so close to our vehicle as it tries to cross the road. Then we watch him as he regally disappears into the bushes. Speaking of the bushes, we spot Big Five number 3, a beautiful sighting of a white or wide-lipped rhino. Considering the fact that these beautiful creatures are hunted for their horns, it's no surprise that this big guy is choosing to scale behind a thicket to try and get out of sight. Not far from him is the animal made of spare parts, the wildebeest.
Yeah, so if you check this animal, you see the tail look like a horse. The face look like a buffalo. The sloping back look like a hyenas. And on the ribs look like a white rhino.
Our guide tells us how beautiful this wildebeest is, but all I can think of is that they killed Mufasa. A little more Lion King trivia. Then it's back on the dusty roads to see how many more of the Big Five we could find. Not part of the Big Five, but still a delight to see, are these gentle grazers. Kenneth, our guide, settles the debate for us on whether zebras are white with black stripes or black with white stripes.
So the zebra is white and the black. It's not black and white. It's white and the black. Because if it's black and white, which means they will absorb more heat.
So it's white with black stripes?
Yes.
So now you know. This newfound information puts these guys in a whole new light, and they deserve to have their picture taken. Big 5 number 4. The elephant, or rather in this case, a whole herd of elephants. Minding their business and eating grass, plodding their way through the Kruger, except in this herd is a baby, one that is only a day old. Yes, 1 day old. He was literally born yesterday. And today, living his best life, being protected on all sides by the members of his new family. We stay and watch for a while until we start to chase the sunset. With nightfall slowly falling, we are whisked away to the watering hole. Not part of the Big 5, but truly a wonder to behold, the water hole is filled with hippo. We are privileged to see a fight for territory as 2 males battle it out, their sounds echoing into the still of dusk. All we can do is watch in silence and, of course, capture the moment to camera. Looking out over the water, all you see are the heads of the hippos with their bodies entirely submerged. With the sun setting above and the sky shining orange, this place is the perfect spot for all romantics out there. When it's all dark and the sun is gone, it's time to head back to camp. Back at camp, preparations are underway for the big Boma dinner held at the main camp.
We're at Shishangeni Main Lodge tonight, and what we do is, as you can see, we've got a Boma evening where we've got all the camps, Camp Shau, Camp Shonga, and the main lodge Shishangeni, and they're all coming to have a Boma dinner with us. So we do it once, if we've got a group especially. On the last night, we do it for all the groups, and that's why we have a barbecue, which in South Africa we're known as a braai. And we've got different meats on the buffet, like venison, fish, chicken, and some kebabs. And as you can see, the spread is amazing. So all the guests come through to enjoy the last night before they check out.
After a lavish spread that includes mouth-watering desserts, guests are treated to a lovely surprise around the fire. A chorus comes in and the sight is truly magnificent as dancers enter for a birthday surprise for one of its international guests. Then the dance floor is lit up with traditional dance, and dancers parading and strutting their stuff. But it's not only for them, as guests are whisked up to join in. Now it's a party and everyone is invited, as we dance the night away under clear African skies.
Trendy travelers, where are the places that you have explored? We'd like to know about those, so why don't you let us know on Instagram and on Twitter, on Trendz and SABC using the hashtag SABC News. Also, while you're at it, why don't you let us know the places that you'd like us to explore?
Hello and welcome to the Full View here on SABC News. It's great to have you with us.
You're not answering what I'm asking.
I'm saying to you, none of the commitments were ever met.
No, that's not true.
None of them were ever met.
That is not true. No.
The Mulama Trust was not an act of the national government.
Is somebody suggesting that the one who happens to have a white skin should be subject to expropriation without compensation?
But again, I put it to you that that has not been conclusively decided. That's what this whole process, which you are a part of, in making your submissions, will decide. We don't know what the final beast will look like. And until we do, all you're doing is fear-mongering.
No.
They've wasted our time. They've made our members to go on strike. They've made the public to suffer for nothing.
Andikwazi ukutya i-treatment ngendlela ngenxa into yoba imali ayikho. Fumene 600. Xa ndiphinda futhi ndidrawa ayiphumi ayikho kwa kwi-account.
What we are experiencing now is due to the number of people accessing the system at the same time. So if they can just be patient for 3 to 4 days.
The real good thing about this investment summit is that a number of companies are going to be making pronouncements on the investments that they are going to be making in our economy.
The International Investment Summit, debating ways and means to rebuild the country's economy at the Sandton Convention Center on Friday.
For comprehensive coverage of the summit, watch SABC News, listen to SABC Radio, or follow at SABC News online.
Among South Korea's steel skyscrapers and bustling city lies the calming beauty of over 900 traditional Buddhist temples. It is here in the coastal city of Busan that you can go and explore these temples, find tranquility and even meditate.
Nestled on a beautiful cliffy coastline in southeastern South Korea is Busan. It's the second largest city in South Korea with a population of over 3.4 million people. Busan is around 325 kilometers away from the capital city Seoul. Busan boasts a number of Buddhist temples. However, one takes honor of being the most beautiful temple in South Korea, Haedong Yeonggusa Temple. It is the country's most beautiful and unique. Kirat went on a tour to explore this majestic building.
I'm standing outside the entrance of the Haedong Yeonggusa Temple here in Busan, where legend has it that in around 1376, the Buddha rode up the ocean on the back of a dragon and fought on that hill. Hence the name temple, Dragon Place Temple.
To enter the temple, you have to climb a stony stairway along the rocky shore, all the while offering breathtaking views of the sea. At the entrance are 12 animals representing 12 years of the Chinese zodiac. Each year is assigned an animal with different pros and cons, and various elements like earth, wind, water and fire attached to them. Haedong Yeonggusa dates back to 1376 during the Goryeo dynasty. The temple, however, was reconstructed in 1970 after it was destroyed by the Japanese occupation during World War II. Many couples hoping to have a son come to rub the belly of the golden Buddha. Also, there is a unique wishing bowl.
The aim here is to throw the coin into that bowl so that your wish can come true. Now if you tell your wish, it won't come true, so mine is a secret.
South African artist Mr. Empty was first introduced to the world of street art by seeing graffiti on the sides of trains when he commuted to school. Now, after 15 years in the graffiti scene, he's taking part in an international festival to transform a rundown area of his home city in Johannesburg. 20 local artists were joined by 5 renowned international artists to paint a series of murals.
Meeting all these great guys, and they really don't have anything to do with ego and stuff, you know, they don't look at themselves as the best and whatnot. It's quite an experience. It's very humbling too, you know, so it's been a learning curve for me.
Inner city Johannesburg has long had an image problem, and poverty in the area is reflected in derelict buildings and urban decay. Mr. Empty said the City of Gold project was quite an upgrade.
Come on, I see my life going 3 doors down. I see my life getting lost in the crowd. No I'm working, but I see it's round. I know I'm breathing, but am I leaving? I see my life going 3 doors down. I see my life getting lost in the crowd. No I'm working, but I see it's round. I know I'm breathing, but am I leaving?
it's quite an upgrade too, because some of these buildings are like old abandoned buildings and they're deteriorating. So I mean, it gives it like some life. It doesn't look like a dangerous area anymore.
The team of graffiti artists went to work in 6 locations in the central district of Braamfontein. Among the international contingent was Swiss graffiti artist Malik, who used a crane to paint a wolf onto the side of one of Braamfontein's buildings.
So what's really yours? I'm poor, more to find. We lose change or just really time. Come on, I see my life going 3 doors down. I see my life getting lost in the crowd. No I'm walking, but I see it's round. No I'm breathing, but am I leaving? I see my life going 3 doors down. I see my life getting lost in the crowd.
As you see in this area, or from my point of view, some things are not okay. Some people are suffering around here. If it just helps a little bit, you know, a few minutes for like being happy for a second, it's already good.
Seeing them, seeing their work in person, it's very beautiful. It brings out the city alive.
Members of the public seemed to be happy with what they saw. City of Gold organizer Jared Pereira said the aim of the event is to turn public space into public art galleries.
We really want to, you know, turn the inner city and public space into public art galleries, you know. I mean, you know, I think it's really important that people have access to art and, like, you know, they see artistic imagery in their daily lives, you know. Otherwise, whenever you're in urban spaces, all you see is advertising, you know.
Organisers are hopeful that success this year could lead to this being an annual event, reimagining Johannesburg as a city that overflows with art.
I think it's uplifting the place. It's giving it some life. Some beautiful color. It's actually beautiful. I mean, there's been grey. Like, look at all these buildings around here. They're just all grey, and everything's look like more like like very depressing. So if you're gonna have something like this around, it's beautiful. Trust me, it is.
And that's all we have here in this week's edition of Trendz Travel. Catch us on Twitter, catch us on Instagram, and catch us again next week, same time, same place. We'd love to see you again. Cheers.
Special assignment. Crime keeps the society in terror and pain. Why so?
If someone phones me, this phone me, tells me, okay, look here, he needs a silver, and I get you all driving, I'll take it.
What pushes normal people to be so hard, heartless, and brutally kill one another?
The other side of it could be more for their own psychological need. It might be part of a sexual fantasy that they have. It could be about power and control.
After proper investigation is followed, the perpetrator gets arrested.
It's quite a massive process. And ultimately, they have payments, right? Justice is served.
Emotional scars remain.
We would pay any price to get him back, and the sad reality is that it's gone.
Special assignment. We unravel the truth every Sunday at 21:30.
Need to know more about the markets? This is where it all starts, at the SABC's headquarters in Auckland Park in Johannesburg, South Africa. We analyze, report, crunch the numbers, call in the experts, package the news, and bring you critical global market updates from the JSE.
The continent's leaders in liquid market movement and the fastest